Hey everybody, welcome back to Suck Less Saturday. It's Neil. I'm out here getting ready for the Ask National Conference that's coming up.
You need a shot timer because that which gets measured gets worked on. The Range Tech Timer is the official timer of active self-protection because it is versatile, reliable, feature-rich, and very economical. Check out all it can do at the link below.
Today's Suck Less, I just want to talk to you about getting ready for a class if you're traveling, especially for those of you that are coming to Kansas, going to be in Manhattan in a few weeks. You probably are going to have to travel a little bit light unless you're driving, and even if you're driving, you still got to decide what you're going to bring and the kind of things that you need. So I'm going to show you that I've got a hodgepodge of stuff here because I've just been down here at the range doing some shooting, and Steph's getting ready for class, so this is not organized in any way, shape, or form. But I kind of want to walk you through a few things, and you know, if I miss something, sound off in the comments of the things that you bring to classes when you travel, or things that you want to think about at least bringing when you come to class. You know, the first thing that I always want to make sure that I've got is enough ammo. So spend some time figuring out, you know, what the round count is for your class. Some classes are 200, some are 1,200, some are, I've seen 3,000 round classes advertised. I've never taken one because I don't know that my thumbs could take that to reload that much ammo over a few days. But you know, loading a bunch of ammo is always a challenge, but make sure but if you don't have it, you can't load it. So find out what your round count is, and then I like to use the 20% rule and go 20% over if I can, understanding that you can fly most airlines with 11 pounds of ammo. Some it's per bag, some it's total, so maybe you read those things first before you get on an airplane of how much ammo you can get, and consider shipping it into wherever the location is. If that's the case, you need to get ahead of yourself at least a few weeks, because sometimes ammo is ready today and sometimes it's a couple weeks delay, and as we've seen over the last couple of years, sometimes you just simply can't get it. So ammo is a big one. Making sure you've got enough magazines to run a class. I like to go to a class with a minimum of 8 magazines. In this case, if you can see, I took the middle part out, and that just lets me throw my junk in there, and you can see how amazingly organized I am. But this case allows me to hold 8 magazines. The reason I like 8 is because in any typical class, you will not go through more than 4 mags before there's a break for a reload. So you can take you can have all of your 8 mags loaded before class starts, grab 4 of them, step to the line, and you're already ahead. I know in some Rangemaster stuff, Tom has everybody come to the line, and I've done this too. Come to the line with ammo in your pockets, and so you can reload right there on the line. If you've got a few extra mags, you can avoid a little of that and then reload during a break. I like this little pouch that Wilderness hooked me up with here, in that I can put 4 mags in that pretty easy, and then I can just kind of grab from that as well. Sometimes I carry all 8 of them in there, but then they tend to fall out, so maybe I need a deeper pouch. I'm sitting here holding a Sharpie. A Sharpie is a good thing to be able to mark your targets with and all of that kind of stuff. That thing usually just sits right in there and zips up for me. There's probably stuff in here that I don't absolutely need to travel with. Oh look, see, I've been traveling with this since 2021. That's my 283 Rangemaster shooting the card thing. So, but of course, that reminds me that at one point I could do that pretty well, and maybe I can work on improving or whatever. You can take your stuff or not. So magazines. This is a cheap little gun tool that I picked up online somewhere. I'm not even sure where it came from. I'm guessing maybe Steph bought it at one time, but it's got everything that I need to be able to work on my gun while I'm on the road. It's compact. It's suboptimal because it's not a great tool to, you know, get a hold of stuff, but it's kind of an all-in-one inclusive thing, so that if there's an emergency on the range, I can do a little bit of work. So I've got that. Another thing that I've started bringing since I had a little issue at a Rangemaster class where I put Steph's dot on the night before and didn't Loctite it. Yep, I'm a knucklehead, it's all me. But I also didn't do the, I didn't torque that thing down. And this is called the Fat Wrench. They're about, I think it was like $50. I got it locally here at a running store. That's kind of a outdoor hunting, fishing, farm store. It's like it's Mecca for Cody and I, right? But bringing this along so that I can check the torque on a dot. Nothing worse than a dot coming off in class. So traveling with that, I like to bring in my timer. So I've got my timer. Now this is the Range Tech, so it works with my tablet or my phone. Bring that along. A Maglula for all of the reloading that I do during the class. A little bit of Petzl, the chalk. You can get this thing, you can get all of this, well, you can get a lot of this stuff on Big Techs here, but I get this from Big Techs. This makes life a little bit easier, especially when it's hot and muggy or if it's raining, to be able to get a hold of that gun. Now you can see that I've got a couple of Maglulas in here. A mag carrier. Now I don't carry a mag carrier everywhere I go. I don't carry an extra mag. I get it. You do you. I'm going to do me. But in a class, this is great, especially for drills where you've got to reload. Steph ordered this one online. I don't even know what the brand is, but I kind of like it. Doesn't even say on here anywhere. But it pivots like so, and then it's got like the automatic belt clip thing, so I don't have to take my belt off to put it on. So I can put that on, run my thing. When I'm done, I take that off and go back to the hotel. This that I travel with is some tape. It's basically rounded up or rolled up Band-Aids, because I get the Glock knuckle. When you draw, you know, 1,000 times over a weekend, you're gonna get cut up and your hands are gonna be sore. If you watched any of the Brian Hill videos when we were down in Nebraska, that was our 4th and 5th day in a row of that. I'm just shaking my hands, and I got my hands bandaged up, and everything kind of hurt for a few days. But I travel with that. Some pasters. If I threw these in here for a class and haven't even used them yet, then I carry my pocket knife in here, because when you fly, you can't fly with that, so that just sits in here. So most of that, and then I've got room for at least 2 guns. So if you're going to a class, I recommend bringing a backup gun no matter what. It might not be your dot that comes off that you can fix on the range with this or this. It might be that the gun jams up, it might be a spring breaks, it might be whatever. So having a backup gun to travel with is always smart, I think. And so you can get a couple of them in here, and I can fill this thing up with stuff. Can typically get my 11 pounds of ammo in there, which is it's about 8 boxes of ammo. That'll typically run a class if I can. Usually I'm traveling with Steph, so she can take her 11 pounds as well, and life is good. The cool thing about this is I also keep a little bit of medical stuff. This is the one that goes with me to the range everywhere, so I keep my a couple extra chest seals in here, my pens, an extra set of ears, some batteries. Oh, and that's the last thing I was going to talk about is the ears. I've been working with these Grizzly ears now for a while. I really like these. The one challenge with them is they're easy to misplace. So I got to make sure that these get into the case every time. But also I also have traveled with an extra set just to be on the safe side, so my Swordens come along with me as well. They're in the pickup over here, so I can't show them to you right now. But guys, that's really it. When you start getting ready to go to a class, think through that stuff that you're going to need. Read the emails that they send you. I know that I'm really notorious for sucking at reading emails, but all of that information is in there. If you're coming to Kansas, Steph's probably already sent you 10 emails, and I know there's been a couple of jokes about all of that kind of stuff, but man, if you need to know it, it's there, and you can reference that, do your thing, bring your gear, you can have a fun time at class. There's nothing worse than getting to class and showing up with 1 magazine or 2 magazines, and you're constantly sitting there reloading while everybody else is getting the experience of the knowledge dump that's coming from an instructor that you spent a whole bunch of money on. So this week's Suck Less Challenge is go get your range bag out, take a look through your stuff. Do you have everything that you need to go to a class? Do you have everything you need to go to the range? My house is 200 yards that way, right? The range is on my property. I can show you, if you've been here, there is a path worn back and forth from here, and most of that is because I drove down here and forgot something. So it's good to have all of your stuff with you. Look through that, pay attention. Have some fun this week. Suck less. We'll see you next time.